it's hard that, the questions about ethics are coming on me when they're doing, with their raw power, using the DA's office for one. It's illegal to use it as a campaign tool for Stacy, but that's what they've done from the start. They literally brought a number of prosecutors into the office with Stacy sitting there and Maggie sitting there. Two of them close the door behind. Prosecutor sits down and they go, "You're supporting Stacy, right?"
And I don't have a problem with Lost Coast, but I've been struggling in the sense that a lot of the articles that I've read in preparation for this podcast and previous podcasts, they don't seem to really paint that objective of a light.
No.
It seems, I don't want to say targeted, but it doesn't seem favorable.
And what my, campaign manager maybe had pointed out to them was like, if you're going to like have these stories that kind of seem like hit jobs on Adrian, maybe you should post that the owner's wife is an owner or supporting Stacy Eads.
They do have a lot of
and
ads for Stacy Eads on their site. I will give them that.
And the fact that Stacy has spent tens of thousands of dollars on ads on their website, and the fact that Maggie and the owner's wife are friendly. I mean, all
does
of
that
those
frustrate
things,
you? Because it seems like your campaign has been targeted for this secretive money action.
Yeah, I mean, it is frustrating, especially dark money. When there's a PAC paying for all kinds of stuff for her and other candidates, and that one's a general PAC, is my understanding of it. And so they can just purchase stuff for whomever, and that's just my understanding of that. I don't, that's from talking with some of the folks involved with that. But aside from, then, and we don't really know who those people are. I don't know who those people are. And then, to be, cast this shadow on me of unethical and, secretive stuff. And it's like, no, this is my buddy. He's right here. He might not be good at paperwork or whatever, but here he is. And that's what I told Lost Coast. I gave him his phone number. Here's the dude that's paying for it. It's running that independent expenditure. And it's my buddy since 6th grade.
Did they follow up?
They called him, yeah. And then they wrote something last night that, again, they're like, here's Adrian's board in the wetlands. Again, okay. I think that more offensive is probably, not having something that's already there and having my face on it. What I'd say is probably more offensive is going into a defendant's yard, wetlands next to the bay, and erecting a Stacy Eads sign. That actually has some environmental impact, probably not that much, but more worrying about that is the fact that they're currently prosecuting the person that owns that property. And one's talking about that.
Lay that out for me again, because I haven't heard that anywhere.
One person that I prosecuted while I was in the office was Ray Christie. Ray Christie had 250 dead cows on his property. We charged him with a slew of misdemeanors and I think 4 or 5 felonies. After a long trial, they hung on the felonies. 11 people for guilty, 1 not guilty. The person that just wouldn't follow the law. And then I convicted him of 25 misdemeanors for abandoning, dumping cow carcasses in the waterways of the state, which is along his properties. There's just dead cows everywhere. All just
250 is a lot of dead cows.
Oh, there's more than that. There was piles of dead cows. It was disgusting. Anyway, he's got pretty prime property. On the actual ranch that he has, there's 2 signs, Stacy Eads signs. Then I think like another 4 of his properties had erected Stacy Eads signs on them. And so this is a person that you're currently prosecuting and is also pending sentencing, and you're erecting signs on there. I think that's a point where you're along the way not, and this is what I saw like all the time, and this is what happened with the issue of me being terminated and then them turning it around to just a false story, is that they think just like raw power can kind of get them past things. Like no one's
to be fair, that's worked for most of human history.
Yeah, but like then, finally there's someone pointing it out. And they don't like that.
Yeah, that seems like that would be a bit of a conflict of interest,
Yeah,
especially where you're currently prosecuting him. That seems like
yeah, seems like a problem.
And one of those signs is in a wetland.
Yeah, at least two of the ones that I saw. Yeah,
and they had been erected.
but it's
for
like a
Stacy.
wetland, but it's also ranch land. I mean, there's streams that are connected
And they're-
hydrologically. They're sloughs that go into Humboldt.
But these are
Gateway.
billboards.
They're like the big signs. So they have 3 posts. They're not like billboards,
Okay,
but they're
the larger
erecting.
signs.
They're large signs with 3 posts. That kind of thing. So they are erecting something on there, with not having a repaint of a billboard that's already existing. So I think again, that just in itself, but I think the bigger problem there, of course, is the conflict of interest. But so it's interesting. Then they hire this other political consultant that harasses was harassing my family at the parade, who turned 2 charity events, try to turn them into Stacy Eads campaign events. One charity is Bander. This is another one of Stacy's surrogates, Bander, and they gave all the money back that the Eads campaign donated to the charity, gave back and said, we don't want it. Don't use any of our pictures in any of your campaign stuff. And sure enough, they continue to do that. I mean, talking about, so it's hard that, the questions about ethics are coming on me when they're doing, with their raw power, using the DA's office for one. It's illegal to use it as a campaign tool for Stacy, but that's what they've done from the start. They literally brought a number of prosecutors into the office with Stacy sitting there and Maggie sitting there. 2 of them close the door behind. Prosecutor sits down and they go, "You're supporting Stacy, right?" In office, during hours,
On the clock,
in a position where you can fire someone. You have a power position over them. So all the stuff that they, try to sling at me, it's like, it's frustrating because, I'm just, this entire time, my campaign team is like, we got to fire back. We got to send these press releases. We got to do this. We got to do that. And I'm like, let's just try to stay above it. What we're doing is working. We're talking to people. They know we need change. We've won all the endorsements. Let's just keep going.